This is Teddy from thefinancialbulls.com, and I'm here with a bi-weekly market recap along with some setups for the next 2 weeks. So we take a look at the S&P, as we always do. The S&P is pretty much just the past 10 days, which was the amount of time since my last review, has just been chugging higher. I mean, obviously we have this huge move from low 1800s all the way to about 2067, an insane rally, the best in years in this short amount of time. And, you have that really big, that V shape right here, that really signals a strength in the trend. And just to go over what I was looking at before, everybody was scared. A bunch of traders, including myself, were scared when we broke that level. But then when we came back above it on that strong engulfing day right here, that was a signal to take off your shorts, cover your shorts, take your losses if you were short and you didn't cover, maybe down here, and to get long. So ever since then, we broke out to all-time highs around here, around that 2021 level. And in the meantime, we formed a nice little flagging consolidation pattern above the 10-day. And if we go to an hourly chart, you can see that consolidation zone right here. Pretty much, it's very clear. And ever since then, we've kind of chugged a bit higher too. So I don't know if I would initiate any new longs right here. It's very extended. And then if you go back a couple months, you kind of have this sort of trend line resistance up here that we broke above. But we could go back below it maybe. If we would go back to 2045, close below that, then that would be a signal to probably sell some of your longs. But I mean, we've just had such an extended run that I'm kind of short on words to talk about what I would do here. I'd just be very careful. I mean, we had these long setups all along this period and this period down here, but now we're all the way up here. We're just so extended that I would be uncomfortable putting on longs, but I wouldn't go all in short at the same time. I'd just kind of be waiting and seeing. And the market's open right now. I'm doing this right now. The market's been open for like 30 minutes. And just because I didn't get to the video last night, I have no school today, so I'm doing the video now. And I'm just going to show you some setups that I have for this week. And there are a lot of good setups. And the setups that I picked were yesterday, as you can see right here. So I'm not fooling you. Some of these stocks are up like 3% today that I would pick to be yesterday, but as you can see, the entry, it's the 24th, and all these entry dates are the 23rd. So I can't change that date. That's just when stock charts, that's when I put them into my watch list. So think of it as yesterday, and the stocks some of them are acting pretty nicely today. But to go back to the past 2 weeks and the stocks that I was looking at, some of them, sorry about that, some of them acted pretty well. We have ELY. ELY unfortunately didn't really turn out the way I was hoping it would turn out. We have this bullish flag consolidation right here, and it did kind of go a little bit higher, but then it failed and it went from $8 all the way to $7.36. So if you were in that trade, you would have been stopped out, unfortunately. Facebook, now it's kind of forming. I mean, Facebook, we saw this bearish flag right here as consolidation below the 10 and 20 period moving average, and it's just been doing nothing ever since then. It's kind of gone down a little bit, but if you owned options, your options probably would have lost value. Not very convincing. I'm kind of disappointed with last week's setups. Some of them went pretty well, though. We have BFR. That stock, we saw this consolidation zone right here above prior resistance at 1320, and now it's chugging higher, and it went all the way from 1357 to 1458. So that's a very strong move out of this consolidation period that you can see more clearly on the hourly chart. Some other ones, let's take a look. Hyatt, saw this bear flag right here. It's done nothing ever since then. Broke out of that bear flag. Some stocks acted pretty nicely though. FedEx. I was just looking at this recently, and you had this nice consolidation above the 10, and as long as it held the 10, I would be long, and it broke above nicely on Friday. And it's up 0.61% today, so hopefully it's continuing. So if you're long, congratulations. So now for here's another play that I was looking at, AWW. Beautiful, this worked out perfectly. And the stock's up 3% today, wow. Didn't even notice that. So you had this consolidation right here on the monthly chart, on the hourly chart. You can see just a very well-defined, neat trend channel that developed. So if you could buy right here at 40.83, and now the stock's north of 45. So if you bought that, you'd be up very nicely on that. It's perfect. That's textbook. It held the 10-day perfectly, and now it's riding higher. So now for some plays for next week, and for this week as well, we have CUDA. CUDA has been consolidating in a nice bullish flag pattern. I actually really like this play. You can see on the hourly chart, the stock's up percent today. It held support around 35, and now it's at 35.76. So I think if it can break above and close above 36 and some change, then we could see higher prices. And I also really like this play because you go on the yearly chart, it broke out of this resistance zone right here, and it's holding above that. So I'm actually very bullish on Barracuda Networks. I don't know what they do, but all I know is they have low volume, the consolidation, trend is up, above the 10, above the 21, above prior resistance, and it's resting here, so it could go higher. Some other stocks, EROS, it's kind of an under-the-radar stock, but EROS International has been consolidating nicely and low volume on this pullback to the 10-day, and it's been consolidating this trend channel, so hopefully if it breaks above and closes above 21.50, then I'd be bullish there. Some more stocks, RSTI, it's kind of ugly, don't want to touch on that. RHI, this looks like an interesting stock. So as you can see, it's a very well-defined, just like the other stocks, consolidation pattern. So just like the other stocks, I mean, I like to focus on these flag patterns. I really like flag patterns and just uptrending stocks that are just consolidating. Not necessarily flags, but consolidating stocks in an uptrend or downtrend. So this looks ready to go. I mean, as long as it holds a 10, I'd be a buyer. VAC, up a percent today. That's pretty nice. Low volume, big up move from 57 to 72. So these are the stocks that you obviously want to be buying, especially after this whole uptrend. I mean, you could have bought anywhere along this and you'd be up a huge amount of money. So it's been consolidating in this nice trend channel fashion. And if you bought right here, and this was on Friday and this morning at 71.22, before the flag even broke out, you'd be up a point on a $72 stock. So you'd be very nicely in profit, even if it doesn't break out, and you could sell it right here. But then if it breaks out, that's all the better, and it could go north of 76 with this measured move right here. So I like that stock, keeping an eye on that. More stocks. CVS, not as convincing as the others, just because it's a big cap stock, but it also has this nice, it looks like it broke above 90.26. Yeah, so I'd buy this. This looks pretty nice as long as it can hold that level, trending above the 10, above the 21. And yeah, those are the main long plays that I'm looking at. Now for some short plays, I'm looking at AOI, Applied Optoelectronics Incorporated, and this stock's down a percent today, so it's had some nice follow through. Still within the consolidation zone of this bear flag after this very huge move from $16 down to $11. So the stock got crushed, and now it's not really going up, it's not really going down, it's just hanging around. And I think the trend's going to continue, it's going down. And as you can see on the hourly chart, it's kind of been held in between these two boundaries. And I mean, right here would have been an ideal area to short, and that's at $12.90, and now the stock's at $12.40. So once again, just like with RHI, even if the stock didn't break out yet to the downside, you'd be still up a ton of money, which is why I like trading these orderly patterns like flag patterns. DVAX, another stock, consolidating, move down, not as convincing, but nonetheless. RIGP, this is play on oil. As you can see, it's been crushed the past 6 months, Transocean Partners, and it's been consolidating. It's down a percent today, and a percent from where I initially put it on my watch list. And I feel like if it breaks and closes down below 1840, that's a place to get short. And I wouldn't short right here. I mean, this is in the middle of this channel. It could bounce off 1856 and go to 1976, and I definitely would not want to be holding the stock during that time period. I feel like it's either you short or buy on the breakout or on resistance or support. and you can short it here at resistance. That's the highest risk, also the highest reward. And if you break here, then that's also a good place to short, but it's not as ideal as shorting up here, which we had the opportunity to do that recently. But right now, I just sit and wait until it breaks this level if you didn't get in above here. Some other ones, STKL, Synopta, consolidating below the 10, below the 21. Low volume, as you can see, huge volume on this day right here, over 2 million shares traded, and it's been doing nothing ever since. So that could resume some downside. WWE, my favorite childhood pastime, as same with a lot of people. And the stock got crushed in May, went up, went back down, been doing nothing really, but it's just been trending down. And I feel like that trend will resume after we resume this bearish flag pattern right here. So it's at support right now from the flag. It could break below, and that'd be bearish, or it could bounce up probably to 1230. So depending on what happens, you could maybe wait and look for a short around 1230 and put an order there, or put an order to close below 1170. Seems like it's a good place to short. And then just a few more. Those are my short plays. A long play, CYBR. Ooh, this looks beautiful right here. Wow, up 5% today. So I saw this bullish flag pattern, and it looks like it's up $2 as of this morning. So, oh, it's not loading. There we go. So you can see it consolidated nicely above the 10, and the trend is resuming. I like to see more volume confirmation, and it's the early morning, so I don't expect much. But if it can get above the 21 period volume moving average, then that would be the move would be confirmed, in my opinion. And yeah, just some other plays that worked out. Oh, ALE, another bearish flag, and BAP. This stock worked out nicely. I was just taking a look at this and just wanted to show you how it was a nice orderly pullback to the 21 in this consolidation pattern, and it just shot up to the upside. So those are the types of patterns that I like, and that was just one that played out recently. So thank you for watching. Once again, as I go back to the SPX chart, make sure you're careful with your longs. Don't go all in short. Just be tactical and find these good consolidation patterns, and don't fight the trend most of all, and use stop losses, define your risk, and you'll hopefully be fine in this market. So thank you for watching, and happy trading.